Hello there. Welcome back to the Agostinho Zinga Show, episode number 980. This is the Agostinho Zinga Show, episode number 980. That is 980 of the Agostinho Zinga Show, coming at you live from an undisclosed location somewhere in the depths of East London. How you doing? How you feeling? How you doing? How you feeling? Great, good to hear. How am I? You know how it is, trying to put one foot in front of the other, trying to survive in this cold, dark, bleak world that we live in, and trying to keep my head on a swivel of some sorts. I've just finished watching the latest episode of Pluribus. I've just finished watching the latest episode of Pluribus. And I think some of you people need to be honest. I think some of you people out there need to be honest about your theories, about your views, about your liking of this particular show, and whether some of the liking is predominantly centered around the fact that the people involved in it are also involved in Breaking Bad, because that show is pretty shit. Let's call a spade a spade. There are some strong performances from the actors. The actors are actoring, right? There's some really good, monologues and stuff that some of them do. But overall, Pluribus as a TV show is not really captivating me the way I thought it would captivate me. What's the point of having a sci-fi show based around an alien invasion taking over the entire planet when we see no aliens? We see no ships. We see nothing. All we see is like a hive mind thing, where they're kind of walking around in unison and communicating telepathically and whatever else it may be. And these little nuggets of a reveal that we're seeing later on down the line about how it may be reversed or whatever, I'm just not invested in it. The characters are kind of annoying too. There's no one really to root for in the entire thing. Maybe you want to root for the invading alien race, maybe. But it's really underwhelming. And maybe, filmography wise, cinematography wise, photography wise, yes, it's shot really well, it's edited really well, clearly they spent a lot of money on it. But don't lie, man, this show had a lot of promise. That pilot promised us a lot. Episode 1, that pilot promised us a lot. It promised us a lot, but it's not delivering at the moment, and I'm really getting bored of it. And this is no comparison to make, but I also been watching Mayor of Kingstown, which is in its second season, I think, or whatever, maybe fourth, I'm not too sure, whatever season it's in, I think it might be fourth. And I'm really enjoying Mayor of Kingstown, right? Mayor of Kingstown isn't the most sophisticated, highbrow version of TV, but it's somewhat exciting. It grips you. There's characters to root for, characters that you hate, characters that you're fascinated by. The storyline, even though it's set around a corrupt town, and the struggle of the people that live there to kind of hold it together, the de facto mayor who's not really the mayor, and the police force and everything else involved. It's kind of the same premise every fucking season, but they do kind of tweak it little by little, and it always holds your attention. So when I'm sitting there, can't, like, on the edge of my seat waiting for the next episode of Mayor of Kingstown, or I'm really excited about the next episode of Landman. For instance, Landman season 2, that's been pretty good too. I've really enjoyed Landman season 2 and all the complexities around drilling oil and being a fucking landman, all this malarkey. But Pluribus isn't doing the same, and Pluribus is looked, and I think the people who like Pluribus would probably look down on me for watching Landman and for watching Mayor of Kingstown. They'll probably think I'm a little bit of a normie, I'm a little bit of an NPC, I'm a little bit of a basic bitch, but Pluribus is not as good as Mayor of Kingstown or Landman. I don't care what you say. Don't care who wrote Pluribus, I don't care the Breaking Bad alumni, I don't care what school they went to. That show is pretty shit. First episode, pretty decent. But after that, I've kind of lost interest. I'm really lost interest on Pluribus. And plus, I feel like I have to fucking, some shows, those review channels on YouTube that review episodes of great TV shows, right? Sometimes I watch those things not to like fully understand what's going on, but just to kind of rewatch what I watched in like a summary way with a bit more common information. Now I'm watching those episodes, right? Big up Pete Poppers. Channels like Pete Poppers, if you know. Channels like Pete Poppers that kind of, review shows. I'm now watching his roundups of the episodes of Pluribus, and I'm watching them so I can understand what I watched. Not because I just want to rewatch what I just, not as a kind of a highlight reel. I'm actually having to focus and hold on, what the fuck did I just watch? And now I'm watching Pete Poppers and he kind of a breakdown. Okay, cool. This happened here. That milk carton means this. This like what? And the latest episode had a John Cena cameo. Like, get fucked, man. That show is terrible. Don't care what anyone says. That show is maybe I might turn a corner. Because I had the same thing with Breaking Bad, but Breaking Bad was only a couple episodes. When I first started watching Breaking Bad, I didn't really get the hype, and obviously once you kind of get into it, it becomes like a, you know, a stellar TV show that we all know. Maybe Pluribus will have the same thing like Breaking Bad, and I will maybe fall in love with the show. But so far no dice. So far I've been really unimpressed. I've been really underwhelmed because the pilot was so good, and it's really bugging me that everyone seems to be sucking it off when I'm looking at it thinking, this isn't that great of a show, you know? But hey, what do I know? What do I know? Absolutely nada. Continuing on with stuff that I don't know. I don't really know much about what's happening with this Timothée Chalamet fucking new movie. It's called Marty Supreme. From what I can guess, based on some of the, you know, signage and the stuff that he's been wearing, it seems like it's a film based on some kid that's really good at ping pong. Not too sure if it's like based on a true story. Not too sure if it's a made up one, but whatever. It looks like a movie based on ping pong, right? And Timothée Chalamet, maybe it's a film studio, maybe it's him himself. It looks like every movie role he takes now, he's gonna have a massive promo run around it. He's almost kind of doing like the white Kevin Hart thing. Knowing Kevin Hart was at the peak of his powers, and every time he was in a movie, he kind of, or even though Kevin Hart, Dwayne Rock Johnson will do the same thing where they'll kind of turn their movie role into a promo run for themselves, and obviously, of course, the movie. But he's going really hard with this movie. The other day he was in Brazil, today or just the other day, no, the other day he was in Brazil. Recently he was at some premiere in New York for the particular movie. And again, I don't know much about the movie, but the promo around has been stupendous. The merch around the movie has been fucking great. It actually looks like something that you'd imagine Supreme would fucking make, that quarter zip kind of bomber jacket thing that they've got. I'm a little bit, just in terms of limited edition, scarcity type of thing, I'm a little bit annoyed that they sold it. I think they should have waited to sell it after the movie, not gonna lie. Obviously they're doing it to make money before the movie drops, but I think it would have hit harder if they sold the jackets and all the merch for the fucking film after the movie dropped, and then kept on seeding the jacket to celebrities. I think the last person I saw wearing it was like Hailey Bieber, Tom Brady, random people, right? I think there's a picture of Frank Ocean wearing that fucking Marty Supreme jacket. So I think they should have just waited, and it would have really built up the hype. But you know, I get it, whatever it is. I have seen pop-up pictures of the pop-up shop, for Marty Supreme, and the queues have been crazy. The queues of people queuing up to buy Marty Supreme merch is crazy. Again, kind of showing you just how things have changed. You know, you just can't drop movies in cinemas. You need to create a whole experience around it. Merch, pop-up shops, appearances, concerts, placements, whatever. The marketing is like, you know, properly 360. Well, to continue that, he's been stepping out with some looks, right? And look at this look at the fucking New York premiere. He was there with Kylie Jenner. There has been some rumors, I think, online that they allegedly broke up or something, which I'm not too sure why people say that. He's like a working actor, you know, he's not going to be, you know, around there all the time. He's got his own job, like a legit profession that he has to be on set for. So just because you don't see them together all the time doesn't mean they're not together. Do you know what I mean? It's a strange thing, but I guess because she's probably dated people who are probably around her more, it's probably because he's not around, it probably seems like they're on and off. But I guess they squashed those rumors by stepping out at the New York premiere, and his outfit, or their outfits, stupendous, right? They're both wearing orange. I'm assuming that's kind of tying into the ping pong ball color, I think so. But he's wearing this Chrome Hearts leather suit. Jesus Christos, it looks absolutely incredible. And he's also got, as you can see here, if you zoom in, you can also see he's got a leather paddle board holder thing, right? I guess that's to hold the paddle or the racket or whatever you do to play ping pong. Made by Chrome Hearts too. It looks fucking amazing. Really fucking cool. And as you can see, if you zoom in a little bit better, you can see the details of like the Chrome Hearts. I don't know what that thing is for, the iconography on the knees, you know? So it's not just leather pants. They've actually cut the pattern of that Chrome Hearts sort of like cross on top of there. I'm assuming these might be Chrome Hearts boots as well, probably. I'm assuming. And I'm assuming Kylie Jenner also has a Chrome Hearts dress. Yeah, all Chrome Hearts. You see the Chrome Heart cross there, the Chrome Hearts around the necklace with the jewelry. Fucking incredible look. Really fucking incredible. They look so fucking good together in this particular outfit. It's especially the skin tone, you know? They're both kind of pale and shit. I think it looks really good with the orange. I'm not sure. I think the shirt he's got on is like a silk shirt. That looks fucking crazy. I can't imagine how sweaty he must feel in it though, right? It's a leather suit with like silk lining or satin lining, and then he's also got like a silk shirt or something. He must be leaking inside there. He must be absolutely leaking. But he got the fit off, you know? That's the most important thing. He got the fucking fit off. But when I saw this, it also made me think a little bit about whatchamacallit, Chrome Hearts anyway. I like Chrome Hearts when it's done like this. I like it when they do like the biker stuff, right? When it's like the leather jackets, the leather suits, like it's or when they make like, you know, miscellaneous items, they'll make like, I don't know, rims that they put on Drake's car. They'll make like a table. They did a collaboration with fucking Virgil Abloh, RIP. They'll do the paddle board, the paddle fucking, you know, racket fucking holder thing. They'll make maybe a phone case. I love all that stuff. But the things I don't really enjoy or like, I'm not gonna lie, when it comes to flipping Chrome Hearts, has to be some of the trousers. Like I saw a post, I'm not too sure if he was lying, but I saw a post recently from Ian Connor where he says a pair of pants that's been kind of going viral online was $60,000. Not too sure, again, not too sure if the guy's lying or anything, but if these pants are $60,000, then I think Chrome Hearts are kind of ripping people off. They're kind of ripping people off. So this is the post I'm going to show you, right, where Ian Connor talks about this. Because this, anyways, it's been a whole lot of drama around some of these underground artists. I'm not going to kind of bore you about it, but you know, whatever. Underground rappers are beefing each other. And then this post kind of went viral where people are taking a piss out of this one kid sharing jeans, it seems like, with this girl. And then Ian Connor quote tweets and says, "When the pants are $60,000, believe everyone I love get to touch them." And I think he's spoken before in interviews where he's like, you know, he doesn't mind sharing designer clothes with his team or with his group of friends because everyone can get their fits off and those pictures last forever. And then, you know, essentially when you then get your money up, you can then buy your own. So it gives everyone a chance to kind of touch clothes that they maybe wouldn't have access to, which I'm all good with. But I look at these pants, I'm thinking to myself, like, I remember I saw another clip of Ben the Don, the live streamer, also showing a collection of his Chrome Hearts, and I'm like, I don't know, man. These are just like regular double knee chinos, right? Or regular double knee pants with the Chrome Hearts crosses adorned all over the knee area. And I don't know, I just think they look a bit tacky. I've never really been down for them. So I prefer when Chrome Hearts do, like, again, the leather pieces, the biker pieces, you know, the belts, the fucking boots, or the edits on the boots, the fucking things, the customization on the fucking Converses and shit. I remember seeing somebody had a fucking Chrome Hearts flannel, you know, that was made, and all the little fucking patterns on it had the crosses and the buttons and stuff. Like, really cool. But I think when they make like hoodies with all the crosses or jeans or these kind of chinos, they just look a little bit naff, you know. They look a little bit naff, and maybe it's because there's so many people wearing kind of fake Chrome Hearts. They also look kind of fake as well. They're probably not as well. They probably bought them directly from the store, but they kind of look a bit fugazi, even if they're not, you know. They just look a little bit crap. I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of this version of whatever this version of Chrome Hearts is. I think a streetwear version of Chrome Hearts, it's not really for me. I'm not gonna lie, it's not really for me. Like, even, don't get me wrong, Ian Connor's fits here is not the greatest, to be fair. It's probably a little bit too, you know, whatever, to wear that sort of stuff, but I guess that's new paint coming out. But yeah, I'm not really impressed. And I feel like a lot of kids nowadays are wearing it simply because they know it's expensive, or because everyone thinks it's expensive, right? And even if you're wearing a fake or a real one and shit, maybe that's the reason. I don't know. I just look at it, I'm not that impressed, you know? It's just a little bit like naff looking. All these crosses all over it. But Timothy Chalamet and fucking, what's his name, and her, she stepped out and they look great in it. There are some more pictures, obviously, of the premiere. Them at the premiere, they see Timothy Chalamet wearing his orange Chrome Hearts fit, Kylie Jenner there, Gwyneth Paltrow, who I think is also in the movie. This lady, what's her name? Odessa Azion, she's also in the movie. Tyler the Creator there. Great look from Tyler the Creator. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think that particular suit he's wearing is the suit that's in the last Le Fleur collection. The last Tyler Le Fleur collection that's dropping, I think, soon as well, right? Soon, the last clothing. He mentioned before that he's carrying on with collaboration, accessories and fragrances, but there'll be no more clothing going forward. And this, I think, is one of the last suits he's got. And it's fucking great, to be fair. It's really, really well done. Really fucking well done. It kind of looks like I guess it's like a tweed Harrington jacket, kind of like a tweed Harrington jacket. You've got pleated shorts here as well. Really good look. I like how they're a bit baggy and not as tight as it probably would be if it was a Tom Brown thing. And again, he's covered the jacket in pins, and he's got this really nice fur trapper hat as well, and those old school glasses that he's been wearing, tying into Chromacopia that he put out as well. And again, loafers with the socks, you know, loafers with the socks and shorts is always a good look as well, even without socks as well. It's a very what you call it, take Ivy look there. He looks fantastic. Big up Tyla, the creator. Who else is this? This is Halsey. Is she in the movie too? Halsey's in the movie. She looks healthy, isn't it? I think the other day, wasn't she saying that she had cancer or something? Well, it looks like she doesn't have it anymore, you know? Looks like she doesn't have cancer anymore. Looks like she hasn't got anything anymore. Who's that? That's Baz Luhrmann. I guess he's in the movie too. There's Josh Hutcherson something. Lucy Dacus. I think she's in a band, right? I forgot what band she's in, but I think this lady's in a band or something, right? There's Lena Waithe is there. Emma Chamberlain. Is Emma Chamberlain in Mighty Supreme as well? Oh, interesting. And that's the guy with the podcast, right? I forgot his name. What's his name? Owen Teal. And then Timothée Chalamet again with Kylie. So yeah, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all. Cannot wait to see the movie when it eventually drops. But it kind of doesn't matter, you know. The movie's kind of secondary to this whole press run. They've really killed it. He's fucking killed it. They've really killed it. He's fucking killed it. And of course, one more look at Tyler's look as well. I love those glasses, man. I'm not gonna lie, they look really cool on him. I think they might be Cazelles. I'm not too sure if they are, or maybe he designed them himself. Knowing him, they could be his own designs, but they look like they could be Cazelles. Like the vintage ones, that fucking Big Daddy Kane and Deadman used to wear back in the day. The diamond earrings as well look fucking gorgeous too. And he's wearing the fucking V-neck jumper with a button down underneath. I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at it at all. I'm not mad at it one iota. So big up him. And like I said before, the promotion for it is fucking crazy. You've got Japanese movie covers or posters for it as well. You've got interviews. Charlie XCX was at one of the premieres as well in Los Angeles, it seems like. People arriving. Rachel Sonat was there too. I think that looks like what's that thing called? I forgot the hotel, that famous New York hotel, but it looks like I kind of recognize the driveway, which is kind of weird. It's a funny picture of Tyler the Creator with all these friends and shit. Can't be mad at that one. Who's stepping out here? Someone called Rose going to the Mighty Supreme premiere as well. And yeah, a bunch of people out there doing the damn thing. And again, this is the promo and the pop-up shop he did in Brazil. He dressed up in Brazilian colors too, which I really love. I'm not gonna lie, I think he had an all yellow fit on that one. Yeah, there we go. There's an all yellow fit in Brazil. Absolutely stunning. Again, loads of great fits during the movie premiere. Whether the movie itself is going to be good is anyone's guess. Who fucking knows? But big up Timothée Chalamet. Big up Timothée Chalamet. Or Chalamet, however you pronounce his name. Anyway, let's continue. Let's talk a little bit about ASAP Bari fight scuffle in Miami Art Basel, or Art Basel Miami, however which way you say it. When Art Basel Miami rolls around, it's always interesting to me because you rarely, if ever, see any of the art. And they probably spend a lot of money on the art, you know, exhibitions, the activations, the marketing, the hiring of the venues. I'm assuming a place like Miami, like all those places they want to hire to put the art in, are probably booked years in advance or a year in advance. They probably hike up the rates as well for if you want to hire them. They pay a ton of money to get people in, celebrities, actors, musicians and shit. It's probably a big expenditure. And I guess Miami too like it because it brings a lot of money. And it also attracts a different type of crowd, right? It's not a spring break crowd. It's a more, you'd hope it'd be a more sophisticated, grown up, mature, you know, well, you know, rich, you know, people with like resources essentially, who are gonna, you know, give the place a good image and whatever else, maybe spend some money, have a good time and leave because it's an international thing. But all you see really for the most years, all I've really seen are like some sneaker events and stuff and scuffles. I feel like it's always a scuffle, and it's really sad because in this regard, ASAP Bari, Young Lord, one of the founding members of ASAP Mob, he was the one that's involved in the scuffle. Now, he later cleared this up and said he wasn't the one getting rushed, and it was actually his friends that were going up and beating the guy. But when you watch the video, when I break it down a bit, what you'll see is the saddest thing is that it looks like he is getting beaten up or he is getting attacked by somebody, his friends do try and stop the person that's attacking him, but the person that's attacking him ends up beating up everybody. You know, that person doesn't drop once. And at one point you see ASAP Bari kind of, I guess, not collapsing from exhaustion, maybe pain, I don't know, on the curb. And one of his friends comes over and says, hey, don't sit on the curb, stand up, you know. You can't be sitting down, you look like you just got washed. So it's a really sad clip because, again, you know, yeah, most of you will know that Bari's been involved in a lot of skirmishes and scuffles over the years. The famous one was the Ian Connor at fucking Colette, right, in Paris back in the day. The famous one with Virgil RIP is like signing autographs, and Ian Connor and Bari are fighting behind him and shit, and he's just not paying attention. He's got his mind locked in. That I think is an analogy for being locked in. Bari and fucking Ian Connor fighting behind him, and fucking Virgil's just like laser focused on signing people's fucking merch. And then there's another one where Bari gets beaten up in a, I think there's one that he has beaten up in a fucking basketball court. The basketball court one is kind of embarrassing because I think the kid looks like he was like 16 to 18 or something, and he looks like he's putting the beats on Bari, and other people could jump in. A few other bits. But the one thing I've noticed also, there's been a lot of people happy about this. I've seen a lot of people, men and women, celebrating that Bari got put hands and feet on him, because a lot of people still haven't forgot that he got convicted of, you know, that madness in that hotel where he pulled the cover off that girl when she was sleeping with his boy, and he kind of was acting creepy, touching, you know, whatever else happened. And I'm pretty sure, I don't know if he spent time in prison here in the UK, but he was, you know, he was criminally convicted. That's what I know. Anyway, let's play the clip and then I'll break it down a bit. But this happened in Art Basel, Miami. The caption, courtesy of Over and Under, big up Over and Under, the best streetwear, sneakers and fashion and culture platform to overcheck on Twitter. They always got the news, always fast with it. Very clear captions, no waffle and whatever else it may be. The person behind Over and Under knows what's up. So check out Over and Under. OVRNUNDR, OVRNUNDR. This is the video. Let's play it and I'll break it down for ya.
That's crazy.
In case you're wondering, that's ASAP Bari right there. That guy right there. And his attacker, right? his attacker is this one. So Bari's a victim here, and that's the attacker grabbing him from behind.
That's fine.
It's a big fat ass.
Ah, they're on bad time. They're on really bad time. Bugging the fuck out. He got beat, huh? Damn. That's really bad timing. Oh, nah. Oh, nah. Yo, it's something. No, they're fucking them.
So the funny thing about the entire clip is this. If you didn't know, if Bari never cleared up what happened and said, hey, my friends were the one that were putting the beats on that guy, you would have never known if you watched that clip, because it kind of looks like Bari was getting rushed by everybody. But if you look at it closely, he was correct in that, because as Bari's kind of, it looks like the fight starts inside. They're a place called Arena, I think it's called, right? They're in some sort of venue called Arena. I think I saw Reese LaFleur said that it was his event, if I'm not mistaken. Reese LaFleur, the rapper and skater guy, said that was his event. So it's somewhere in the Arena place. It looks like the fight started inside, right? Inside the venue. And it kind of poured outside. Maybe it's one of those things of like, calm, if you want to fight, let's go outside. Let's go outside. You know what I mean? Let's get down in whack language. It looks like they go outside. And then as they go outside, Bari does the thing that you're never meant to do, right? In a fight, you're never meant to turn your back to the person. Even if you know your boys are there and they're going to step in for you, you should never turn your back, because somebody, you know, can hit you and you'll be none the wiser. And there's nothing worse than getting hit when you're not aware, because that's going to be lights out. So he's lucky he didn't get knocked out. But as he's walking out, the guy grabs him, literally yanks him right from behind. that already is too much for me. That already is too much violence, you know. That's already an L, because he yanks him like, you know, another man dragging you to the ground is kind of crazy. He drags him to the ground, and we don't see any of the beats though. Luckily for Bari, we don't, because I think that would have been more embarrassing. We don't see him getting pummeled on, but it seems like as he gets dragged down to the ground here behind the bushes, well, out of sight, he's probably getting hammer fisted. He's probably getting like tons of hammer fists to his head, I'm assuming. That's why his friends kind of like react really, really quickly and try and get him off of him. The other thing you'll notice as well, there's security guards there wearing suits. Now, from my thinking, in my world, when you see a security guard with a suit on, they're just like a peace warden, you know. They're just like a placeholder. They don't really get involved in scraps. These are uncles, these are grown-ass men. They're not really security that want to get down and kind of throw hands. These aren't nightclub security. So those security guards are kind of useless. They're not going to do nothing. They just want to make sure that, you know, no one dies in front of the venue. They want to make sure that, I mean, they're just kind of ushering you away. So they're kind of useless in this regard, in stopping anything. And probably they don't know what's going on. They have no idea who the assailant is, who the victim is. They're just all confused. Anyway, Bari's on the floor here. His friends are trying to grab the guy, right? The assailant. They're trying to grab him to stop him hitting Bari. But he's still probably hitting him, right? You can't really see. You can't really see. And he's getting pulled off a little bit here. The cameraman doesn't really do a good job to stay on track. He's a bit all over the place. And then somebody else jumps away. Not too sure who that jumps away, but maybe that's one of Bari's friends here in the blue jumper. Looks like a Burberry jumper, not too sure. You can fast forward a bit more here. As they continue on, you see one of the security guards pull Bari up. So maybe it looks like the security knew who Bari was. Maybe he was involved in the event or something. They kind of knew that, okay, he's the star, we need to protect him, because it looks like they're overly concentrating and focusing on him and trying to get him up, right? They're trying to get him up here. There's a guy in shorts here being held back by another security. That's not really working too well. You see a girl here with a big bum that just walk. I don't know who she is. She might be a PA, an assistant or somebody's. I don't really know. She's just trying to, you know, keep her head on the swivel and see what's going on, see who wins, and then she'll leave with that person, I'm assuming. Who knows? And then the guy with the shorts comes around to where Bari's is. Again, this whole time Bari's on the ground. This whole entire time Bari's on the ground behind the bushes, getting his head pounded in, probably, right? Getting smushed, getting his hat taken off, like all this stuff, right? Crazy. He's there getting his hat probably smushed around. He can't get up. And then little by little, you see Bari kind of get up and be led away. I don't know who the other guys are. The other guys are scrapping near some of the black trucks. And then this is the saddest bit if you're Bari. I think this is the saddest bit if you're a Bari fan, if you're an old school Vlone fan, if you're an Endless fan, if you're just a fan of his in general and that whole crew. This is the saddest part, because the assailant is this one guy here, this guy in a white and grey stripy hoodie, who was holding it down, by the way. I think he's also got off-white Jordan 5s, I think so, if I'm not mistaken, but he was holding it down. As you scroll forward, the really sad part is you see Bari getting led away by one of his friends, away from the assailant, like away from danger, behind the black trucks, right? He's getting led away behind the black trucks. Okay, that jumper is not, I don't think that jumper is Bari, maybe it's Louis Vuitton, wherever that jumper is. You can see here from afar, let me just scroll forward a little bit more. He's getting led by the back truck because it looks like his friends have realized that Bari lost the fight and they're trying to get him away from danger. And as he gets led away, you can see him there. There's Bari right there. As you know, in that kind of like it looks like a lime green, a yellowish long sleeve top. You can see his trademark sagging there, right? He's always got his sag on, his trousers, which I wonder if that affected his fighting ability. He's always sagging his jeans incredibly hard. I wonder if that maybe affected his ability to, you know, sit in his punches, you know, be able to kind of move around, be agile on the first place. I don't know. But he's sitting there, you know. This is the one time where BB Simon's belt isn't going to help you, you know, unless you take it off and wrap it around your fist, right? But anyway, he's been led away behind the black trucks. He looks like he's a bit dizzy, and then look, he sits down on the ground. You're never meant to. You have to do that out of sight. If you ever get involved in a fight, in a street fight, you can't sit down on the ground in the vicinity of the fight. You have to do that when you go back home. That's when you catch your breath. If you're catching your breath, it looks like you got washed. Even if you didn't wash the person, it looks like you got washed. So as he's sitting on a curb, the cameraman does a good job of zooming in, and you see Bari. Look at him. He looks exhausted. He looks like he wants to. He looks like he needs a drink of water. He looks like he needs fanning. He looks like he needs a cold plunge or something. He looks like he's disorientated. You know, he looks like he's all over the place. So he looks really all over the place. And his boy, big up his boy here in the Visu jeans. Big up his friend here with the dreads and the Avisu jeans. He does a good job because he helps him stand up. He's like, hey brother, you can't be sitting down like this. You look like you just got washed. You look like you just got, you know, mollywopped. You have to get up. And I think he goes over to him and says, hey, get up, it's okay, breathe, but you have to stand up. He holds his hand out and he pulls him up because sitting down that looks it looks too bad, right? The PR is not good on there. But the funniest thing is this section here towards the end, because the assailant, right? The guy in the grey, this guy here, is that a sicko hoodie? I'm not sure what the hoodie is, but this guy in the stripy hoodie, yo, he holds it down against like 5 people. So 5 of Bari's boys who try and hold him down, right? They're trying to repay Bari for all the free jeans, for all the free fucking denim, for all the free fucking trainers. They're trying to pay back Bari for all the countless food bills he probably paid, because Bari looks like he's a bit of a foodie, non-eater. Pause. I don't want to say that, but he probably pays the bill for a lot of things, right? He looks like a generous guy as well. I'm always seeing him on Instagram, you know, giving money away and hanging out with people and stuff. So his friends are probably indebted to him and they want to pay him back and they want to show that they're loyal. So they want to go rush this guy, right? Which must be kind of embarrassing. This guy just beat up your guy who's your meal ticket. He's your main, you know, he's a star of your crew. You want to kind of enact some revenge. So they want to go and attack this guy with a stripy hoodie. Unfortunately, it doesn't go the way they expect it to go. They all circle him. It looks like he's on his own, to be honest. It looks like he's on his own and they circle him, right? Or if he's not on his own, the people he's with are not with it. They kind of circle him like a pack of hyenas. He doesn't really get worried or run. He doesn't run. He doesn't look like he panics. He just looks around and basically starts doing what you should do if you get rushed, which is something I remember my dad telling me from time. I think most boys have heard this from their fathers, especially. If a group of guys ever were to rush you, just make sure you get one. You don't have to beat up the whole crew because that's not going to happen if you get outnumbered. Just make sure you leave one within him. Just make sure one remembers you. That's what this guy does. As one guy comes up to him, he hits him with a two-piece in the soda. Big up Jorge Masvidal. He hits him with a 2-piece in the soda right here. Boom, boom. I'm actually going to play it. Boom, boom.
Oh.
Boom, boom. Boom, boom. That was swift. So this guy with a stripy hoodie is not to be played with. He's got hands. And immediately as he does that, A$AP Bari's other friends are like, nah, fuck that, you can't be beating up my boy, because that's what happens, right? If you hit one of them with a 2-piece, the other people are like, nah, I'm not having that, and they try and jump in. The moment you dismantle a second one, it makes the rest of them shook. So you can't make the whole group shook by beating up one. You have to maybe get 2, and he gets 2. He gets another guy too, right? No, I think he claps this one, or someone else comes behind and tries to get him. Watch, someone else tries to grab him. And then so his friend comes out there with a cargo pants. He's got one friend that kind of helps him out. But then he gets this guy. He slaps him in the back. Boom, he got them. So see? So Stripey Hoodie's with the shits, bro. He look at how far this guy is back. He got hit with a 2-piece. He grabbed the other guy, pulled his shirt over his head and hit him with uppercuts, right? Boom, boom, boom. And then the other guy comes in with a red hat and he manages to hit him on the side of the head as well. Bang. It's fucking good work by Stripey guy. Stripey guy in a stripy hoodie is fighting off 5 people on his own. On his own. Absolutely amazing work. And then yeah, he's still got his hoodie on. He still looks like he's got all his stuff on. And then as it ends towards the end, everyone's a bit scared and they all kind of back away. Yeah, see, look, he got another guy there. His camo guy friend swung and missed. Guy in the stripy hoodie was holding it down. This guy is not to be played with. Whoever that guy is, don't mess with him, to be fair. Also, to be fair, not to be mean, but guys who wear jeans like this, right? This guy with the stripy hoodie, guys who wear jeans with those types of massive artificial fade patterns, they're not to be messed with. He's wearing like, I don't know what kind of fade that is, but this is definitely artificial. That type of fade pattern on those jeans, he's not to be messed with. He's not to be messed with. So this guy put the beats on absolutely everybody. And unfortunately, A$AP Bari had another embarrassing moment where he was, you know, laid out on the ground. And I think, again, maybe looking back, he'll regret this, but I don't think he should have ever sat down on the curb. The sat down on the curb made it look 10 times worse because he looked like he got, you know, he was in the ring with fucking, what's his fucking face? Tyson for fucking 10 rounds. Look, he looks exasperated. He's got his hand on a curb. He looks really like gone, you know. He looks like he got absolutely shat on, which he may have, but you know, maybe it's worse than it is. He followed it up anyway with a statement in the comments. It was posted on Stay Grounded, by the way. It was posted on Stay Grounded Instagram, but they deleted it. So it looks like Young Lord maybe got them to delete it. Maybe maybe Instagram took it down. I'm not too sure why. But the post isn't on Stay Grounded anymore, so you can only find it over and under. Big up over and under. He did reply in Stay Grounded's comment and said, LOL, crying face emoji. Funny thing is, those my people beating up the goofy holding me. Get your facts straight. He wasn't holding you, Young Lord, my friend ASAP Bari. He was definitely putting the beats on you. He was doing more than holding. Let's be fair. He was doing more than holding. So he wasn't, you know, he was trying to set the record straight there. And then ASAP Nast, another member of ASAP Mob. It looks like there's beef between them. I didn't know, to be fair. I wasn't aware that ASAP Nast and Bari had beef. I remember recently they were kind of made up. I don't know what it was, but it looks like they're not on good terms, because ASAP Nast posted on his Instagram stories and said, how you get jumped with your niggas with you? How you get, which is a good question, by the way. How do you get jumped when your niggas with you? That is a very, very good question. So it looks like there's drama and there's infighting in ASAP Mob, which is nothing to be surprised about. I feel like ASAP always have beef. I think recently, I'm pretty sure, what's his fucking name? ASAP Ferg. I'm pretty sure he's not in ASAP anymore, because he came out recently and said something like ASAP is dead and whatever else. I don't really see him with the ASAP guys too often, so it looks like he's out of the crew. It looks like Nas, you know, is saying some stuff about Bari. You don't really see with Rocky anymore. I know Rocky's got a kid and kids and family and shit, but still, there's some infighting and some beef going on there. Is there any update from Bari regarding this? Let me check his Instagram stories. Any update? Any new update? Any new update? What does it say here? Oh, maybe that's the top he was wearing, right? That's the top he was wearing. He made a post that says, sometimes you gotta cut off loose leaves just to grow again. Yeah, people always get philosophical when they get beat up, innit? When people get beat up, when people get broken up with, they always get philosophical, you know? They want to get on their Socrates shit. So that was that. Post a picture of what's his name? Timothy Chalamet eating some shoes he wants. Some camo stuff. So nothing about the fight. It looks like he's moved on, and maybe he's happy with what happened. You know, it kind of is what it is. It looks like he may have moved on. He's not really saying too much about what happened, but that's like what happened. But if you go back actually to the clip, I'll show you that the reception from people around the world was like, yeah, thank God. It was really strange. It looks like he's kind of hated. I didn't know he was hated that much. Let me scroll down. See, look what people are saying. This ninja gets jumped every year. An R word getting his shit kicked in. What's that?
It's about damn time.
People are really enjoying his downfall. Nini Leaks meme. People don't seem to. I didn't know people didn't like Bari like this. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, this guy just observing shit. Exactly. Yeah, just observing shit is hilarious. Do it again. Somebody says and quote in the video. MJ laughing meme. Not Young Lord. You know, a ninja get increased when he fully turn his back on situation and try and walk away like nothing happened. Oh yeah, true. That's a good one too. That's a good one. That's very true. That's a very true observation. That does happen sometimes when you're actually getting beat on. Sometimes the nonchalant walking away, acting like you're not really with it, is like a thing as well. It kind of reminds me of that skit. Oh, that one guy's got that skit where what is that? That skit of like, oh, you're not really like that. What's that? Let me see if I can find it. You're not like that skit. It's like, I forgot that guy's name. He's a black guy that does a skit. He's kind of like Drewski. He does this really funny one where the guy's trying to fight him. He's like, no, but you're not really like that. And he turns his back. And the guy's like throwing a bottle at him, throwing a water bottle at him, and all this sort of shit. If I find it, I'll probably put it in the clip later. But that's a really good observation, to be fair. Another person says, this ninja been getting jumped every year since 2012. Nature is healing. Ninjas be acting like that, like 10 likes is nothing. Imagine 10 niggas jumping you. Did Bari so bad he had to sit on the ground before getting in the whip? Exactly. Honestly, that is one of the worst screenshots on one of the worst pictures ever. He should never have sat down. Maybe he could have even leaned against the car. Maybe leaning against the black truck would have been good, but sitting on a curb like that, it looks like he got washed. Fucking hell, Bari. What do you do that for, man? What else we got here? At this point, Bari is only relevant because of videos like this. Fashion, N-words, fighting is hilarious. And yeah, and ASAP Rocky laughing meme, blah 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 blah. And you know what the sad thing is as well, by the way? The sad thing about this is this, right? This will inevitably, I think, hurt people who go to fucking, you know, Art Basel to do work, to do business. All of this, like, all of this behavior, all of this ragamuffin stuff, all this beef, all this fighting is going to make it harder for the next person next year to do something, to have a booth, to have an exhibition, to put on a party, to have a pop-up shop. That's a problem with this stuff. It's not good, you know. I wonder, that's why I always wondered as well if like that Ian Connor, Bari, Theophilus London beef that happened in Paris. I always wondered if that maybe played a part in some of the bad sentiment that existed in the fashion world of streetwear. When streetwear was first infiltrating fashion, a lot of those fashion people seemed like they didn't really like it. And I always thought it was like a racism thing, which I kind of think it kind of still is, right? There was all these people in fashion saying, oh, we need to return to tailoring, which for me always sounded like a dog whistle. Like, we don't need a street, we need to return to tailoring. It's like, what the fuck does that mean? You can still tailor streetwear pieces, but less of that said, the better. But you're definitely not doing yourself any favors, you know, by going to these predominantly white spaces and just, you know, acting like fucking niggas. It's just not necessary. It's not needed, especially when it seems to be a platform or an event that does open its arms up to everybody, all walks of life, to kind of go and do what they need to do, because art comes from everywhere. Do you know what I mean? The people that go to these type of things just want to invest in artists, they want to collect things, they want to make some money, they want to look fucking cool, so they don't give a fuck where you're from, what you look like. So you shouldn't take that for granted. But, you know, especially in Miami, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, Miami recently implemented some laws to like quell all the fucking spring break shit. They want to, you know, there's too much argy-bargy and whatever going on there, so they basically locked it down, where I think it's only in one section, bars don't open at a certain time. They basically killed that whole spring break thing. So I think if these guys aren't careful, they're going to kill Art Basel. And that's like the last fucking influencer event that happens in a year, with the exception of Dirty December in Nigeria, which is kind of like a recent thing. But it's kind of like a cool thing. It seems like, you know, in Decemberish, Novemberish time, Basel kicks off. You can go have your fun and shit. So these guys might ruin it for everybody. So they need to chill. They need to fucking chill. They really fucking need to chill. They really fucking need to chill. But again, what do I know? Absolutely nada. I know absolutely nada. I know absolutely fucking nada. All right, cool. Let's move on. Let's talk a little bit about the launch, or the relaunch, actually, the relaunch of Heron Preston's line. Big up blood clot Heron Preston. So Heron Preston's back. His company got taken. I forgot the law exactly. I think he got taken away from him because of New Guards Group being bought out. I forgot the actual law, so forgive me about the law, but he's got his brand back. He's back in control of his brand, his namesake brand, Heron Preston. I always thought, and I still think it's very impressive that he even has a fashion brand, because I know of Heron Preston because I was used to follow his blog back in the day. He had one of the best blogs in the scene, to be honest, documenting kind of his life growing up in New York, going to Parsons and trying to fucking make it, essentially, right? Trying to make his dreams happen. I think it was one of his taglines. I used to be obsessed with his blog. I think back in the day, I even fucking copied the source code or the template for his blog and did it on my blogspot back in the day, when you could kind of edit your blogspot HTML codes and shit, or HTML codes. When I went to New York for the first time with my friends back in the day for my first like lads holiday, I ended up meeting him out there as well. Really fucking nice guy at that time that I meet him. And again, he was like, you know, a semi-lit person. I think at that time he might have been working for Nike, or he might have had that book that he did with Nike, the Young and the Sun thing, whatever he did, right, that yearbook thing. But anyway, he was a really cool guy, but he was always more of a communications marketing kind of guy, right? I never really saw him as like a fashion guy, because he never really dressed extravagantly well, or whatever it may be. You know, he just kind of seemed like that, or maybe most of the sneaker guy. But over time, it seems like he developed his love an appreciation for fashion and, you know, making garments and shit. Maybe it was his stint working at Yeezy, I don't know. But out of the blue, it seemed like he kind of decided to start making clothes after after he did like the Givenchy t-shirts, all these little one-aways, the street sweeper, the shoes he did. He decided to kind of go into making a full collection. And at that time, him and Virgil were super close, and Virgil obviously was working with New Guards Group, and they were basically responsible for manufacturing Off-White. And Virgil, like a G that he is, introduced Virgil to Heron Preston to New Guards Group, and they ended up liking what they saw, invested in him, and he got a fucking full fashion brand essentially, and started showing, I think, in Paris and then New York and kind of all over the place. But unfortunately, I'd imagine with Virgil's passing, it kind of got a bit techie over there. It seems like maybe they only signed him because he was Virgil's friend, and less so because they actually believed in the brand. I don't know. I'm just talking on my ass here. But either way, he lost control of the brand a little bit, and kind of, I guess, was finding his feet. He did a couple of projects in between, some like, you know, group, I forgot what it was, some like outreach stuff. I wasn't really paying that much attention. But recently he got his control back of his brand, and he's going to relaunch Heron Preston. And I think it looks pretty good from what I've seen. So let's kind of go over the relaunch and what he's going to do going forward. So this is courtesy of the Heron Preston IG account. It says as follows: the inverted orange logo was born in defiance. In 2017, my whole life changed. I was young, hungry, broke, and trusting. Overnight, I felt myself losing control, my freedom, my very own name. What started out as a dream turned into a nightmare. For a long time, I felt stuck. In the frustration, I searched for a way to keep creating without anyone controlling me. Suddenly, I realized that orange color, so integral to my brand language, had become a symbol people recognized before they even saw my logo. Orange had become my identity marker. So I flipped the label, literally. Which is a fucking great idea, by the way, right? Because he's known for having this orange label, right? That's his kind of his signature brand color. And I think the orange label has like his name. It's like a regular kind of clothing label that he puts on the outside. But for the relaunch, he's flipped the label the other way around, so you don't see the, you know, you can't see the logo that well, but you can still see the block of color, which is pretty cool in terms of branding, because now people will just associate a block of orange with him, you know, which is a really clever little flip. And I wonder if it's also a little nod to Virgil, because Virgil has that little orange tab he puts on his shoes, right? I don't know if it is, but regardless, it's a really, really clever little branding thing there. He continues to say, the quiet rebellion. No, the inverted orange label became my escape route, a loophole, a quiet rebellion. And even now in 2025, with full ownership of my name restored, I continue to use the inverted logo as a symbol of that journey. It's a homage to the personal struggle of keeping my voice alive, even when faced with the most difficult challenges. A reminder that creativity will always find a way out. Today, my orange label stands for more than a product line. It represents perseverance, freedom, resilience, and never giving up. It's proof that when systems try to limit the artist will reinvent themselves. Fucking brilliant. Fucking love it. Big up Heron Preston. Really cool message there. It seems like he struggled a lot to get his namesake brand back, but now he's got it back, and I guess he's fucking happy. There's actually a video here for some of the launch as well, and I'll show you what the collection looks like. Is this video new? Oh no, this is a 6 days ago video, but let's watch it anyway.
Not a collection. This is a reset. This is a teardown. A return to the beginning. A rebirth. The house stripped down to its base. What remains is the foundation, the essential structure upon which everything is born. A return to the core. This is a renovation project. Less is more, discipline is strength, growth requires restraint. Foundation isn't edit. Foundation is small batch. Limited runs, a time to listen, to test, to evolve together. It's not finished, it's a process, an evolution. Everything is practice. Over time, foundation changes, adapts, matures. It builds block by block towards something greater. Foundation is not ordinary. It's high quality.
Oh, that's pretty good actually. I saw that. Do you see that Raiders hat with the Heron Preston on it? That's a pretty cool flip. It's like a old school Raiders logo with this Heron Preston ribbon. I quite like that.
Quality, versatile, and less environmentally destructive.
Oh, the pretty shoes.
Charged with a sense of rawness and coated with curiosity. The idea is to live above mediocrity at all touch points within the sweet contrast of high and low. Garments built to support, to serve, to last. ground to stand on. This is the framework.
Sick.
From here, the house will rise again.
Yeah, I like the hat, man. That Raiders hat is pretty cool. And then there's one more video here. Don't mind that. Actually, let me check out what the site's saying actually before we go into watching the lookbook. This is what the site's saying. This is what's available at the moment of recording. You've got a hoodie, you've got a belt, you've got a bomber jacket. I think it's like let's just say it's more like a flight jacket. No, let's say it's a bomber jacket with a collar. You've got whatever those things are called. Please forgive me. You've got a zip-up hoodie, sweatpants, and you've got a button-up shirt. So you've got how many pieces here? 7 pieces so far for the launch. Block 1. So I'm guessing they're going to be releasing blocks. I'm guessing because it says block 1 here. I'm guessing he's going to be dropping stuff in blocks, and that's the logo actually, which is a really nice way. It's kind of like, it reminds me of like what Margiela did with obviously the stitching of the label. That's a really cool way to kind of, you know, have your brand. So it's this orange label that you usually get on the clothes. Instead of having it the other way, he flips it reverse, so you can kind of see faintly the text there, but from afar all you see is the orange block, so, or the orange rectangle. So from afar people will know what you're wearing without even having a brand there. This is the famous logo he had, right? Or the famous shirt from back in, I think that he first dropped in the first collection with the heron bird on it as well. So he's kind of re-releasing that. That sweater doesn't look like the greatest quality, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not really, or maybe that's a style. Maybe he's going for a more of like an 80s sort of silhouette, but the quality doesn't look that great. I don't really like the thin, the skinny kind of cuff elastic or the waistband elastic here. It's too thin for me. I like mine a bit more thick, you know. So this doesn't look like the greatest quality, I'm not gonna lie. It doesn't look like the greatest quality, but it could be on purpose, you know, wanting it to be a little bit more vintage looking. But I prefer my waistband elastic to be a bit thicker. But yeah, looks decent enough there. What does it say on here? It's 100% cotton though. That's more than Supreme. Supreme are now fucking, most of their hoodies are fucking what, 60 cotton, 40 fucking elastic, or what, polystyrene, whatever it's fucking in there. So he's got better quality hoodies than Supreme, that's for sure. 100% cotton, white, heather grey, heron bird painting, screen print on the front. I decided to establish unique with independent. Yeah, so made in Portugal as well. Pretty nice. How much is it? What was it cost? What's the price? Ooh, Heron Preston, brother. Really? $465 for a hoodie. He's doing Vetements prices, isn't it? This is old school Demna Vetements prices. That's a little bit too much, I think. Is it selling well? Looks like all sizes are in stock though. Looks like all sizes are in stock from what I can see here. Pressing the button. Fucking hell. $465. I don't know, in this economy, if people are gonna wanna pay $465 for a heavy grey hoodie, I'm not gonna lie, that's a bit mad. What's the belt saying? The belt's really nice actually. The belt quality looks cool as well, and that color, you don't really see a lot of orange belts. That's really cool. With the, is that pony hair? That's a really, okay, the belt looks like it's really cool. The belt might be worth $3, I'm not gonna lie. It's $3, right? Yeah, the belt is $3, and the belt is all in stock as well. The belt's pretty nice. The belt is pretty nice. That's iconic color, you know, people are gonna see that from the outside. Yeah, I like that belt. It's almost like a cowboy looking belt with the metal tip at the end there. I really like the fur bits as well. So yeah, that's not too shabby. The bomber jacket, how much is that? $945. God, like, is he hand making all this stuff? I don't know, brother. Heron, man, I love you and stuff, but these prices are a bit crazy, brother. $945. You could probably get a Raf Simons bomber jacket for less than that, no? Snow camo bomber jacket, 100% cotton, water repellent. Okay, water repellent. Custom HP YKK zips. You're not even gonna give me Riri zips. You're not even gonna give me Riri zips, Heron Preston. You're gonna give me YKK zips, really? Come on, man. Blue lining, Heron Preston screen printed logo, leather details, orange label on the sleeve, made in Portugal. To be fair, quality wise, it does look pretty cool. it does look pretty nice. I'm not gonna, especially when you zoom in, you see little details here like the Heron Preston embroidery. You see some contrast stitching around the pockets. The zipper does look nice and chunky. The blue lining is really cool. You got the orange label or tag here on the sleeve. You know, a nice thick elastic waistbands here that I said should have been on the hoodie. Those are quite nice. So when you zoom in, the quality is quite cool, right? Little, like, I don't mind. And there's a little patch here where you can attach your own little Velcro badges and shit. But 900, nearly $1,000 is crazy work, man. $1,000 is crazy work. Actually, you know what? I'm curious. I'm actually curious to see what's his story saying on here. Anything on the stories that I missed out on? Whoopsie, maybe it's too late. What's happening on the stories here? Anything? Boom. Okay, so you're showing all the ads, right? Actually, I'm actually curious. If I go to Essence, right? Let's go to Essence a bit. Let's go to Essence, and I want to see what other bomber jackets go for. Maybe he's right. Maybe I'm just mistaken. Let's go to menswear. Let's go to clothing, and let's go to jackets, right? I want to see what other brands sell bomber jackets for. Bombers, there you go. Bombers, there you go. Big up Sense. So Essence. So Balmain have a bomber jacket here, or Givenchy have a bomber jacket. That's okay, fair enough. Maybe he's cheap. A Givenchy green couture steam bomber jacket is £2,670. There's a bomber jacket by Who Decides Where that is £665. There's a bomber jacket by Woo Youngmi that is £1,125. So bombers are kind of expensive, isn't it? Maybe that pricing is not too bad then. $975. There's a bomber jacket by Sakai. They always make great bomber jackets. $995. Okay, I'll take it back. Maybe the pricing is okay then. Maybe Heron Preston's bomber is actually a bargain. There's a Mastermind World bomber jacket that is $930. Fuck, bomber jackets are this much. There's a Maison Mihira Yashuhiro bomber jacket that's $950. There's a Dries Van Noten bomber jacket that's $1,495. And then lastly, there's a Chopova Lowena bomber jacket that's actually really fucking nice. I'd wear the fuck out of that actually. That is £904. So yeah, so maybe Heron's right. Maybe that's the price that you have to pay. That's the going rate for bomber jackets. 900. Damn. Okay, cool. There's a black hoodie, a basic black zip up hoodie is £365, which, you know, is a lot, but still the fit looks pretty cool. I like how bellowed out and ballooned out the sleeves are. There's definitely a design there, right? They made these elongated sleeves. I kind of don't mind that actually. That's kind of cool with me. There's sweatpants that are $365, and then the button-up shirt is $425. And this has got different panels on it as well, right? If you zoom in, I'm pretty sure, yeah, this is definitely done. This is definitely a nice cut and sew piece, very considered. But yeah, big up Heron Preston on there. But there's actually a picture. I want to see the full collection. We'll go back to this interview in a minute, but there's actually a full collection of pictures here, courtesy of Hypebeast. So I think there's more stuff to be dropping later on down the line, but this is it styled. Yeah, some of the stuff does look good. There's boob tube tops. A lot of this stuff I think will be popular anyway, especially that Cyrillic style top that he does. I think a lot of people will be into that. I quite like what he's doing there. The sweats, there looks like there's flip-flops involved as well. There's sweatpants and t-shirt. And a lot of people are doing this now, isn't it? Launching clothing brands that have basics. I think this is a thing I'm seeing a lot more now. There's a bomber, oh, another bomber jacket there. Oh, the same bomber jacket but in black. Okay, so this one's not out yet. This isn't out just yet, but yeah, this is really cool. This bomber jacket fits this model really cool as well. It's a bit elongated sleeves as well. Or maybe, I think this is his little design thing that he does. His sleeves are always a little bit longer than what you usually get. I quite like that actually. Really nice design. Gives that really nice silhouette and that big balloony body as well. There's a nice, that waffle knit jumper, or whatever that jumper is fucking really nice. The pants as well. There's a bag there. The styling is really cool. I'm not gonna lie. The styling really helps make the stuff look really good. I like how I did the jumper over the shirt here. That suit is really awesome as well. The matching top and bottom. Is that the same thing that I saw here? The matching top and bottom. Hold on, let me see there. Okay, the top is different. I wonder if he's gonna make bottoms for that top, actually, that Heron top. I don't know. What else we have here? T-shirts and just jeans maybe coming later on down the line. Oh, this is my favorite piece. This is my favorite. This is definitely my favorite standout piece. This camo look, which is what, look number 10. This camo look is my favorite. This goes stupid hard. It's essentially an M65, one of my favorite kind of, you know, army kind of outerwear pieces. It's an M65 that looks like it's got like an elasticated waistband. There's also a lining there, custom camo, big pockets as well. You don't usually get this on M65s, but it looks like it's got a hood, a foldable hood, which is really, really cool. There's matching cargo pants as well that go with it. And there's also some boots maybe that he's making. I'm not too sure. They might be just regular Timberlands. But this is my favorite look. This camo look I'd wear in a heartbeat. That is so fucking good. Yeah, and also that inner lining jacket as well is a really nice little tip there. Styling nod. Cool. Yeah, this is really, I like this color. Whatever this color is, this ivory off-white sweatsuit is fucking hard. I actually prefer it in the zip up, not gonna lie. Yeah, the styling, look at this little styling. This is a really cool little styling nod where they twisted up the zips here, so it kind of gives it this nice little, I don't know, cinched look. Yeah, I like this. I like whatever this color is. This off-white ivory, whatever this color is fucking beautiful in the sweats. It looks really fucking cool. You've got again that crest as well. I'm not mad at that crest. I guess that's the Heron Preston crest. We're gonna see maybe more in different bits and pieces. I quite like that crest. I'd probably have that crest without the logo, without the name. I'd probably like to just have the crest and just get rid of that name on the sleeve there, or maybe have the name on the sleeve of the actual, sorry, on the pant leg, maybe on the sleeve arm. That might be better. Oh, look at the jumper. That's really cool. He's made it like an inside out thing, so it's a regular sweater. I'm not sure if that's a styling thing, or maybe they just flipped inside out, but that looks really cool. The sweater's inside out printed. There's a black look here with some tailored pants and jacket. You see that, is that a long sleeve shirt? Wow, that's a really cool long sleeve shirt with a heron on the front. A black shirt again with the balloon sleeves, which might be a thing that he's doing going forward. Maybe the jeans are included there as well, but those balloon sleeves are really cool. The Raiders hat flip is going to be really, I think it's going to be really popular. When this drops, I think this is going to be one of his stand-up. This is going to get really popular, especially if it's well priced. People are going to be all over that Raiders hat flip. Oh, this is a really nice hat. Again, look at the styling. The styling is really well done. Taking the hoodie, flipping it upside down, zipping it up, and then attaching a belt around it to make it look like a skirt. Really clever little styling things here to kind of make so many different looks of the same little thing. Again, hoodie under the jumper with the sweats again. And oh, I like this though. This is really cool. I like that font as well. That gothic font that says Heron Preston on one of the trouser legs. I'm not mad at that in the slightest. Yeah, well done to Heron Preston, man. Really good relaunch. Really good relaunch. And these look like Margiela-esque pants, innit? You know, Margiela did those pants where they covered them in paint. They kind of look like Margiela pants, but these look like carpenter double knee pants that have been covered in white paint. And then they kind of dry and it gives this nice cracking effect and shit. That was really cool. Yeah, big up Heron Preston. He killed it. Good relaunch, good relaunch, good relaunch. Quickly read this interview or article courtesy of Vogue. It says Heron Preston is back and he's coming back to basics. After Heron Preston launched his namesake label in 2017, it didn't take long for it to for a cool downtown crowd to flock to the streetwear brand, especially given he was once also a DJ as part of the Bincho collective with Virgil and Matthew Williams, and served as the art director for Kanye. Since he was such a notable name in New York's creative class and a regular feature during New York Fashion Week, his recent disappearance from the spotlight has been puzzling. But now, there's good news, Heron Preston fans. He's back. Today, Preston formally relaunching his namesake label, and its new outlook reflects that the designer has been quietly working on behind the scenes. Earlier this year, Preston bought back all the rights from his label from New Guards Group. That's fucking awesome. That doesn't really happen, you know. Sometimes they just sell your label to somebody else, but I'm happy he's got his namesake label back. I always think it's sad when designers don't get a chance to design under their label because they get bought out, or you know, it's fucking shitty business. So I'm glad he's got his label back, to be fair. That's really fucking cool. The Italian luxury holding company that had been controlling the brand since its launch, the group, which has owned brands like Palm Angels, has been undergoing financial restructuring. So they were in financial trouble. The timing is fucking brilliant for him then, isn't it? New Guards Group are in financial trouble. They need to, you know, raise funds, and they just was selling they sold it back to him, I guess. That's fucking cool. Call it a reset. Preston now owns and operates 100% of his brand, and he still will now feature a more sophisticated and grown-up attitude going forward. Before, I felt like I was having to execute someone else's vision, he says, but now I feel like I have my own new lease of life where I can finally control my creative vision and voice. Artists should do their own work. That's actually true. I remember the story of him getting linked up with New Guards Group when Virgil shared it, or he shared it, sorry. He did mention that Virgil asked him to send some designs, like create a collection, and I'll pass it on to New Guards Group or something like that. So that is true. Fortunately, he had New Guards Group, you know, supporting him and producing his stuff, but unfortunately he also had them producing his stuff. So from the onset, he always kind of had like a boss, or, you know, a controlling partner that kind of had a lot of say so in where direction the brand was going, you know, probably telling him to drop more Cyrillic stuff, you know. So yeah, that makes more sense why he seems to be happy that he's doing it now full on his own, because he was probably never doing it on his own unless he was doing the stuff that he was putting on his website, like the street sweepers and some of the other bits and pieces that he kind of dropped here and there, or the sanitary department shit and whatever it may be. So this might be some really good stuff. We'll probably get his unfiltered, you know, raw fucking vision, as opposed to the control with New Guards Group. It continues with his current brand. Preston says he wanted to focus on sleek, well-cut wardrobe staples that are fit for everyday wear. It's designed for people who don't need to wear a spectacle to feel confident. Again, which is a good idea, because that mirrors how he dresses. Like, all this stuff is the stuff that he would dress himself, you know, with what maybe a standout bomber or something like that. So I really like that idea. Even though everyone's doing staples, it kind of makes sense for him. It's designed for people who don't need to wear a spectacle to feel confident. While his previous collections have leaned heavily into statement graphics and tees and bright orange is his signature hue, his new clothes now better represent where he is at life at the moment. A grown-up, a new dad, while still nodding to the edgy spirit of his brand's been known for. The quote: "I've been tapped into old Heron," he says, looking at old photos, blogs of when I moved to New York City from San Francisco, and bringing that into the new world. Yeah. Everyone's doing that, man. Everyone's trying to go back to their old self, innit? I mentioned before that I'm getting back into skating, playing football. Obviously going to be DJing a lot more and putting out those type of clips as well, just to kind of, you know, tap back into our younger selves. Not too sure if this is like a nostalgia thing or just trying to, you know, be our true actual selves. Who fucking knows? Let's continue. The new pieces will be rolled out slowly. Preston will be releasing small capsule collections and drops with 7 key items in each batch. We want to build a wardrobe block by block, not by dumping an entire assortment of pieces on you, which I feel is overwhelming, he says. Each drop will have a distinct feel of aesthetics to it. His first batch, dubbed The Foundation, the Blue Line Edit, is available to purchase today from $195 to $945. So yeah, that's a good idea. I'm glad he's out of the fashion fucking calendar circuit. I know for them, those guys, right, when they first popped up, Bintrill, Virgil, Heron, Preston, and fucking Matthew Williams, to a lesser extent Justin Saunders from Jound, it was probably a good, you know, approval thing to kind of be on the Fashion Week calendar, go to Paris Fashion Week, all that malarkey. But I don't think these guys need that approval, you know. They don't need that acknowledgement or approval. They can do their own thing, and it kind of loosens you up to kind of drop whenever during the year. Being kind of held to the rigid kind of timeline and schedule of a fashion week is, I guess, good for the look and whatever it may be, to have you placed next to these big houses and brands, but you're unnecessarily pressuring yourself, and, you know, you're also kind of being lost in all that noise. So kind of doing your own thing on the side is a really good idea, but just dropping when you want to drop throughout the year and stuff. I quite like that. Again, my favorite look, the camo look, is fucking great. The line includes simple straight leg jeans from him, a black long sleeve shirt with a simple heron bird. For her, there's also athletic style pieces like camo print bra top legging set. The Blue Line Edit quote here says is about cutting away all of the fat. I was making too much stuff, he says. I wanted to do much tighter curation of wardrobe staples. I love that, by the way. There's already too much shit out there, so let's just do a tighter edit, make sure the quality is really good, and then go from there. And I guess that kind of goes back to his roots, how he kind of started. His block 2 will arrive in December 11th, featuring items like black tip up hoodies, camo jackets, dress shirts, and further drops will be released thereafter. Well, and I'm assuming it's just like a regular business, isn't it? You whatever money you make from the first drop, you hopefully make a lot so you can reinvest into the second drop, and vice versa, and so on and so forth. Sorry. While the neutral color palette is black and gray, black, gray, and white will be present throughout the line, Preston said that he has plans to include more colorful graphic pieces soon. That was his fashion calling card after all. He says, I really want to experiment and use this as time to get feedback from the community to really understand what's working and what's not. Yeah, he's doing a lot of that. I see. I just got a notification from Instagram that he's got an IG channel. I'm not going to be part of that because if it's like another group chat thing, you know, Instagram will have that feature where you can have like groups and shit and give them people updates. So I guess if you're a fan, you can kind of go there and kind of feedback to him on items and shit. He's really responsive in the comments. He actually replies and, you know, and seems kind of good with all that sort of stuff. So I'm sure that's going to help. Further down in the pipeline, the designer also wants to incorporate more upcycled and one-off pieces into his drops. I want to get back to the old Heron with screen printing graphics by hand in my studio. Love to hear that. That was one of the things I used to love about his old blog, and really connected with the people through more human touch. That's something super excited that I really care about. Nice to hear. Preston's focus on revamping neutral basics with interesting textures and cuts feels right for our stealth chic moment. Stealth chic. I want customers to feel like they're wearing pieces that were designed for intention, with intention and purpose. There's a more grown up and confident voice on the brand, and it's a lot more focused as well. Love to hear it. Love to fucking hear it. With that, Preston's also excited to see how he can innovate and challenge himself. I feel like I have the keys to the car, and I'm driving for the first time in a long time. The sky's the limit. That was a bit corny. That seems a bit corny. I'm not gonna lie. I have the keys to the car. It's a bit cringe, but I get what he's saying. As for will it sell? As for if you will see Preston back on your Fashion Week calendar, given his shows or once a must-see slot, he says he hopes to do a runway show, but in a due time, meaning don't hold your breath. I'm going to wait and take my time. Definitely want to start bringing people together again. That's really what I miss the most, though. It's just having fun. These past few years have been really serious for me. I've been shouldering a lot. I'm like, can I just have fun again? Yeah, that's true. So maybe the fashion show, instead of being on a calendar, maybe doing them one off here and there or around the calendar, but having it being framed as a get together thing, because that's what they did really well, right? That whole group, they turned those fashion shows into events, the DJs, the fucking parties, the activations, the fly, all that shit. So that's probably the greatest thing, and it kind of also kind of brings your brand alive, and it kind of allows people to kind of see it in real life, see it worn. You kind of can create a world around it with the show and all that malarkey as well. So I get the utility and the importance of a show. I just don't want to see, I don't know, I guess what I deem to be streetwear brands to be always trying to garner the approval of the fashion industry. I don't think it's necessary personally. Again, more looks again that we saw previously, and that's it basically. Yeah, so big up Heron Preston, man. The stuff looks fucking amazing. Big up Blood Clot Heron Preston. Big up Blood Clot Heron Preston. Okie dokie. Last thing on the list. Let's talk about the Palace Nike Air Max DN8s. We finally got official pictures. Over and Under did drop some leaked pictures before. Big up Over and Under that I was kind of observing, but we finally got official pictures and release date happening. To start off with, Palace have collaborated with Nike on the brand new silhouette, the Air Max DN8. It's a silhouette that Nike have been pushing quite a lot in the last couple of years. It feels like there was a collaboration with I forgot, there's a skate brand and somebody else as well. That kind of loses me, but regardless, they've been really trying to push this model, this silhouette. I personally don't think it's working. I think the silhouette itself is pretty shit. I'm not the biggest fan of the DNA. I think they're really fucking ugly. They look like it's a weird Air Max. They kind of look okay on certain angles in certain lookbooks, pictures, and you know, pitch. But when you see people holding it in hand and stuff, you see it in person, they're very underwhelming. Very, very horrible Nike Air Max design, in my personal opinion. So when I heard this news, I was like, ugh. It feels like it wasn't one of those things where Palace, I think, gets to choose what model they could release it on. I think Nike told them to do this model, because I think Pata did one recently too. I didn't like that, and Pata always do great Air Maxes. You know, Palace, for as much as I don't like the brand, I think they do really good collabs usually, and this isn't that good either. So unfortunately, they had to do it on a, you know, if you take these colorways and you put them on an Air Max 1, you put them on an Air Max 95, you put them on an Air Max 90, you put them on an Air Max 98, you put them on an Air Max 89, right? Like, these will look incredible, but on the DNA, the silhouette, the model is just so fucking horrible. But before we start with the actual model, let's play the video, the trailer, the little promo video they put together, which is kind of fun.
Yo, brother, can you look after my dog real quick? He loves music, by the way.
So yeah, pretty cool video there. I think it looks like there's some clothing involved as well. I'm not too sure. I zoomed in. I think there might be some clothing involved there, but a pretty cool video nonetheless. Again, they look again in certain angles. Like for instance, this angle is a good example. That angle here, where you see his right foot, the shoe closest to you, looks pretty cool there. But then when you look at the back angle, where his left foot is, it looks pretty shit. So I don't know what it is about the DN8. Maybe it's the fact that the bubbles are so small. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's these bubbles, these circular bubble designs. I would have probably preferred it if they were maybe half bubbles and they were like bigger, so it was like one bubble, two bubble. That would have been probably better. But there's something about that silhouette just doesn't sit right with me. There's the orange colorway again. The instep shoe there looks pretty decent, but then we look at that one there on his left foot, doesn't look too great. Oh, there's I don't know if that tracksuit is part of the collection. It might be in it. There's a tracksuit with 3M piping all over it. It looks pretty cool. Again, I think that angle here doesn't look too shabby. The right foot, but it's a weird model. It's a kind of model where if you wear it and you go out, you're gonna be looking down at your feet all the time, thinking, "Fuck, did I make a mistake?" They kind of just look odd. They kind of have an odd shape about them, and they kind of look unnecessarily chunky as well. I don't know. I don't know if I want my Air Maxes to be chunky. I kind of want them to be bouncy and shit, but I don't want them to be like substantial bricks. But there's a gray colorway here, there's an orange colorway and a black colorway. Obviously, me and my black colorway things, I probably would pick the black if I had to pick a model with a gun to my head. I probably wouldn't wear them anyway. The black colorway also, if you zoom in, you've got more, you can kind of see a little bit more of the thunder print thing that's kind of tied into the video that they did. That kind of shows up a bit more there, right? The thunderstorm type of thing on the upper, which is a kind of a nice little touch there. And then of course you got all the Palace branding on the instep, on the insole. You got the Palace branding tri-fig with a swoosh on the tongue, which is a cool little touch. The orange has also got the thunder thing, and the silvers as well. Maybe actually I take it back. Maybe the grays are the best color. Maybe the grays are the best color. But again, I'm plucking at straws here. They're really fucking ugly. But again, I don't blame them for once. I'm not a fan of Palace, but I don't really blame them for the shoe being shit. I think the shoe is just a shit shoe. It's launching on December 12th, it says here, in the UK and online. Launching Saturday, December 13th in the Australia. And yeah, so the grey safety orange colorway of exclusively, okay cool, it says here, grey safety orange colorway available exclusively from Palace shops and web shops only. So grey, okay, so the blacks are the ones going to be available everywhere else. It looks like the black ones. But yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of these, man. I think they look very, 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 very ugly. The instep is grey, looks like orange on the back. Yeah, they just look unnecessarily chunky. Again, see, that angle doesn't look too shabby. That angle here, this diagonal angle is not too bad. That instep profile is not too bad, but that side profile is awful on the outside, Don't know. It's an odd model. I think it will look horrible on the feet when you wear it as well, Like I'm already not liking that from the top down. Not for me personally. Not for me at all. Not for me at all. But these are going to be dropping on the 12th. So if you're that interested, take a look at them. If you're interested, take a look at them if you're interested. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that has been the Excellent Zig Show episode number 980. It's been a pleasure to have your company. If it's your first time tuning into the show, you know what to do. Smash the like, hit subscribe, and all that fucking good stuff. If it's your first time watching the show, smash the like, subscribe. If you watch, listen to it with the audio side of the pod, you will hear my tune of the day. The tune of the day playing for you right now will be from Tyla and Wizkid, called Dynamite. I'm playing this in celebration of Tyla performing in India, and seeing all the cool pictures of all the Indian kids out there having fun and having a blast and enjoying our company and shit. And also seeing all these cool, attractive looking Indian people who are single-handedly changing the conversation around India. I feel like India's been getting a lot of bad PR lately because of all those horrible videos of guys, serving street food with their feet and their bare hands and spitting on it, like all necessary bullshit. So I feel like they've finally got some good PR, because we're seeing some hot, sexy people at a concert dancing around. So big up Tyla, she's killing it as well out there. So in celebration of Tyla, you'll hear my tune today. If you listen to the audio side of the pod, it's Tyla and Wizkid. The song is called Dynamite. For the rest of you guys, it will fade to black because I don't want to play a song and get copyright striked. Everyone else, I'll be starting the random show in about 5 minutes, so make sure you head over there. Or no, just stay here actually. The channel will fucking ping you over anyway. I'll redirect you over to the random show starting in about 5 to 10 minutes. But thank you for tuning in. Been a pleasure to have your company as per usual, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow. But for now, Take care. Peace.